Then you remember, continue.
Then I remember one time we had to kill a bird with a stone, and that
Like
thing we call
nyonde.
nyonde.
Yeah.
So yeah, we dropped, we killed it, and then we said, you know what, we are going to eat this.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It depends with where you are watching us from at this particular moment. My name is Emma Charles, and I Am Whom I Am is back with another sizzling episode. And today we're going to be speaking to an amazing man, a man of God, by the way. And he's going to take us through his journey of growth, because last I checked, he wasn't this big. Last I checked, he wasn't this spiritual. Last I checked, he didn't even have a book. But now, introduce yourself.
Thank you very much, Emily Charles, for this opportunity that you have given unto me. My name is Emmanuel Kombo, a son of God. I'm self-motivated, and as you said, I'm an author, currently waiting for my book to be published, and hopefully by the end of this year I'll be able to launch and inspire many lives.
Umeenda sana. But basically that is who you are.
Yeah.
And that is why we are here.
Yeah.
So who is Emmanuel?
Emmanuel.
From childhood up to now.
Thank you. Emmanuel is a self-motivated child of God. I am today the way I am because I've learned to self-love and to also self-motivate. Really, when I was growing up, I didn't get that, motivation from, especially the people I entrusted to, my teachers. Yeah, I surrendered my will to them. Most of them were not really genuinely motivated me, no offense, but I thank God that he gave me that spirit of being able to motivate myself. So I am a son of Mr. and Mrs. Nyarangi, and I really love my parents because they really took care of me physically, even mentally. Though I really, really want to echo my mom, who has been a great inspiration.
Boys and moms. Okay, so I understand.
Yes, boys and mom. But one thing, the lesson I've learned as I was growing up is that I always, up to date, I always needed a father. I needed someone to always tap my back and tell me, son, I love you. Because many times when I was growing up, I didn't get that opportunity from my dad. And I really love him even up to date. And even if he gets the opportunity to get this, I will still tell him I love him, right? Though my mom has really played a very important role in my growing up. I remember she's the one who used to come and visit me the most in school.
Okay.
She's the one who used to take me to school.
Okay.
And she's the one actually.
Where did you school?
In primary, I started my journey of education at Thorntree School, all the way up until class 6.
Thorntree is in Rongai.
Thorntree is in Ongata Rongai.
Okay.
Yes, and all the way to class 6, which today we call it grade 6, I don't know, but it's still class 6,
Yeah.
right? So the reason why I shifted from Thorntree to St. Anne's Primary School is not because of anything else, but I lacked the fees.
Okay.
I lacked school fees. And that those days, maybe I didn't understand, but those days my father used to work. My mom used to be a housewife. So I really looked up to my dad to really be paying the school fees. But unfortunately, that did not happen. Okay. And I knew all this because my mom used to share with me a lot about what is happening.
You're the first one?
I'm the last born.
Oh.
Last born. I have
But
two.
she shared.
But she shared, yes. She shared a lot with me because she wanted me to grow up knowing the truth.
Okay.
She didn't want to really hide things from us.
Okay.
Even though she was saying the truth, she was also using her wisdom not to make us really hate our dad.
Okay.
And so after that, I joined St. Anne's Catholic Schools in Tiserian. And that's when I joined in class 7 all the way to class 8, completed my KCSE. I didn't perform well because, one, I came from a family that was very, didn't love each other as much.
Broken?
It was a very broken family.
Okay.
Right? My dad was rarely available. He was, I only saw him when he was coming from work. That was very late because we used to love sleeping late. And the reason why we used to love sleeping late is because I really wanted to see him. I really
So
wanted
you're waiting
just to
for
see
daddy.
him. I was waiting for him. So every
Last
time,
born.
so every time I could hear the hoot on the gate, I could check from upstairs from my room and say, "Oh, dad is here." So I really stared and look through the window. And when I would pretend to go to the washroom just to make sure we just pass each other by and just see him and say, "Oh, how was work?" But I never even got the opportunity to ask him how was work because he was very, very tired. Sometimes he would come home, he was drunk, and we didn't really have much to interact. Though he used to tell me, "I love you, son. I love you very much."
Wow.
I didn't get that opportunity to feel that love. I didn't see that love to be genuine love. Yeah. So after that, when the results were released, I didn't perform well. I performed, according to me, I performed poorly, right? And I lost hope from then because there was too much
Let me
pressure.
ask you,
Yeah.
Kidogo too. When you were in school during this time, your dad is neither here nor there. You really want to feel him. You really want to hug him. You want to tell him good night. He's not there. You were in primary school.
Yes.
So, being in primary school, were you feeling like you're psychologically going through something?
Yes, I was psychologically damaged. Right. I was psychologically damaged in the sense that I was always angry.
Okay.
And I didn't understand why I was angry. Right? I even hated boys. Right? I hated boys.
Because your father is a man.
My father is a man.
Yeah.
And he wasn't that a role model to me. And on the other hand, I used to love ladies a lot because I saw the motherly love. So I was psychologically disturbed. Every time I would try to read, I would picture what I was going through before I came to school.
Yes.
Because in the morning, my dad and mom would argue. And my dad would really do that in front of us.
Every morning?
Every morning. My older brother was in school in upcountry. And also my other brother was in school in upcountry. So I was the only one left. I was in day school. So I know a lot about what was going on more than them. Because them, they will just come during holidays and go back to Shago.
Okay.
And then come back. So until when they finished the high school is when now they
relocated to Nairobi.
They relocated to Nairobi. So now we were in that together. So my performance in school was always bad.
Teachers ever noticed?
Teachers
Like there was
noticed.
something disturbing you?
And shockingly, as I introduced myself, I'm Emmanuel Combo.
Yeah.
But in school, I never liked to call myself Emmanuel Combo. I used to call myself Emmanuel Munene. Munene is my mom's brother. Is my uncle.
You're named after your mom's
Uncle.
Oh.
So in
okay.
school, people used to know me as Emmanuel Munene and not Emmanuel Nyarangi Kombo.
Wow.
And until when we had to do mock exams, is when the teachers found out that I'm called Kombo, and they was like, "Who's this known
Kombo?"
as Kombo?" Right?
Yeah.
Wow. So I had to say the truth. Yeah, my name is Emmanuel Kombo. It was embarrassing. Yeah, for me, and even I don't know for my mom, but for me it was very, very, very embarrassing. So I was damaged psychologically. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Well, you need to sip that. Now, let's go from now you getting all this bitterness from your father at a very, very tender age. Probably you were just beginning to be a teenager at that point. Okay.
Exactly.
Like, did you ever talk to someone about this?
Well, because I was psychologically damaged, I became isolated.
Okay. Alone, and now you're
Alone.
on your own.
Now I'm on my own. I didn't even want to share with my mom because I used to see her in pain. So I didn't want to add more pain to her.
Let me ask you. Let me take you back, Kidogo.
Yeah.
Every morning, as you said, they would fight.
Yes.
Was it physical?
It was physical. It was also verbal. There is no word that I didn't hear my dad utter.
And
Negative
at this time, you are the only child in the house.
I'm the only child in the house.
You never did anything. Like the way I see in the movies, like kids scream like, "Leave mommy alone," or something like that.
I used to feel that way, but because of the image I saw in my dad being so rough.
Or you felt like
felt
the next
like-
punch would land on you.
The next punch will land on me because he's tall, he's huge.
Yes.
He has a commanding voice.
Yes.
So I knew this, if I try to scream, it will land on me. Right?
Yeah.
Because my mom was given a hot slap. She would cry, and she would not talk anymore. She would now submit. Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So you became a loner. You isolated yourself completely to people, and then
I isolated myself from people, and I used to spend most of my times encouraging myself at the same time,
how?
though it was difficult. But I read one verse in the Bible, that there is nothing that is impossible with God. That really changed my attitude towards life. And especially in high school, there was a time I remember I stayed almost a year without going to school. Because
That is
lacked
high school
fees.
now.
That was in high school.
Okay.
I lacked fees. So I had to stay home for 1 year. My mom used to do these odd jobs, going to people's houses to make chapatis, you know, and she'll get little money. But that little money was just for food, for survival. There was no water. Water was not paid for. So we would go and fetch water at Jirani's place. There was no, food was very rare. So my older brother had to involve himself in kazi ya mjengo.
Okay. So this time your brother is in Nairobi.
Now
he's,
my brother
he's
is back in
finished. He's
Nairobi.
cleared.
He's cleared.
You're still in high school.
I'm still in high school.
Okay.
So he would go get his 500 shillings, buy vegetables, buy unga, eat ugali and skuma, and we'll sleep. The following day, we don't know what will happen. I remember there was a time we stayed a whole day without food. I started contemplating on eating stuff that are very, very weird. Right? I was so hungry that anything that I could see, I would just eat it. I remember
where
one
was
time
Mom that
we
time?
had to. Mom was still around.
Okay.
She I know now her job was not that consistent. Yeah, she would only go for those jobs mostly on weekends,
Okay.
on Saturdays.
Then you remember, continue.
Then I remember one time we had to kill a bird with a stone, and that
Like
thing we call
nyonde?
Nyonde.
Yeah.
So yeah, we killed it, and then we said, you know what, we are going to eat